Here is Grandpa's 40 hydrogen peroxide hacks that will blow your mind and make life easier. A collection of simple, clever uses for this common household item that Grandpa swore by. Let's get straight into it. 1. Clean your toothbrush with hydrogen peroxide. Grandpa never let a toothbrush collect gunk. Once a week, he'd soak it in a cup of hydrogen peroxide for 10 minutes. This helped kill bacteria and keep the bristles fresh between uses. Especially after a cold or flu, this simple routine added a layer of protection. He'd rinse the brush thoroughly afterward and let it air dry. It's a cheap and effective way to keep your mouth and your brush germ-free without buying new ones constantly. 2. Whiten Yellowed pillowcases and sheets. Hydrogen peroxide was Grandpa's go-to for dingy linens. He'd add a cup to a load of whites along with baking soda and let it soak before washing. The oxygen bubbles would lift old stains, sweat marks, and yellowing from pillowcases, making them look new again. No bleach, no harsh smell, just a clean, bright result. This tip worked especially well in hot water. He always said, "Why toss it when you can fix it for pennies?" 3. Disinfect kitchen sponges. Instead of throwing out kitchen sponges weekly, Grandpa revived them with hydrogen peroxide. He'd soak them in a shallow bowl of peroxide for 15 minutes, then rinse and wring them out. The solution penetrated deep into the sponge to kill bacteria, mold, and mildew. He even microwaved the sponge for 30 seconds afterward to finish the job. That simple combo stretched sponge life and kept the kitchen cleaner overall. 4. Use it to freshen up smelly sneakers. When Grandpa's old work boots started to stink, he didn't toss them. He treated them. He'd spray the insides with hydrogen peroxide and let them sit overnight. The bubbling action neutralized odors caused by bacteria and sweat. Sometimes he'd sprinkle in a little baking soda too for extra power. By morning, the smell was gone, and his shoes were ready for another week of yard work. No special sprays needed. 5. Brighten tile grout without harsh chemicals. Tile grout in the bathroom always gets grimy. Grandpa mixed hydrogen peroxide with baking soda into a paste and scrubbed the grout lines with an old toothbrush. The reaction bubbled away mildew and soap scum with very little effort. He'd let it sit for 10 minutes before rinsing. It saved hours of scrubbing and avoided the bleach fumes. Clean grout without burning your lungs? Grandpa approved. 7. Clear drain gunk with peroxide and baking soda. Got a slow draining sink? Grandpa didn't reach for toxic drain cleaners. He'd pour a half cup of baking soda into the drain, followed by half a cup of hydrogen peroxide. The foaming reaction helped break down organic gunk and freshen the pipes. After letting it sit for 15 minutes, he'd flush it with hot water. It worked like a charm for kitchen sinks and bathroom drains alike. 8. Disinfect your cutting board after raw meat. After cutting raw chicken or beef, Grandpa cleaned his wooden cutting board with hydrogen peroxide. He'd pour a thin layer over the surface and let it bubble away bacteria. No rinsing with soap could reach those grooves like peroxide did. After 10 minutes, he'd wipe it down and leave it to dry. It's a food-safe way to disinfect and extend the life of wooden boards. 9. Restore dingy white socks. Grandpa never tossed socks just because they looked old. He'd fill a bucket with hot water, pour in a half cup of hydrogen peroxide, and soak the socks for a couple hours. The bubbling action loosened grime, sweat, and even grass stains. After a quick rinse and a normal wash, they came out looking nearly new. It saved money, reduced waste, and avoided the need for bleach. Grandpa always said, old socks just need a little science. 10. Clean mirrors without streaks. Glass cleaners often left streaks, but Grandpa had a trick. He'd spray hydrogen peroxide directly onto the mirror and wipe it with a lint-free cloth or crumpled newspaper. The result? Crystal clear reflections every time. It cut through hairspray, toothpaste splatter, and fingerprint grease with no smears left behind. And it left the room smelling fresh, not like chemicals. For a spotless mirror, Grandpa's method never missed. 11th. Sanitize makeup brushes. Grandpa might not have worn makeup, but he knew about hygiene. For the women in the family, he recommended soaking brushes in a mix of warm water and hydrogen peroxide once a week. It killed bacteria hiding in the bristles and lifted makeup residue. After soaking, he'd rinse and lay them flat to dry. This simple hack helped prevent breakouts and kept brushes lasting longer. Practical advice with beauty benefits. 12th. Refresh reusable water bottles. Water bottles can get funky fast, especially the ones with narrow necks. Grandpa would fill his with a 50-50 mix of hydrogen peroxide and water, shake it well, and let it sit for 10 minutes. The solution killed odor-causing bacteria inside the bottle and lid. After a good rinse, the bottle smelled fresh again. It worked great for thermoses, travel mugs, and kids' bottles too. No need to replace them, just refresh them. 13. Clean toilet bowls effortlessly. Instead of buying chemical toilet cleaners, Grandpa used hydrogen peroxide. He'd pour about half a cup directly into the bowl and let it sit for 20 minutes. Then a quick brush around and flush left the porcelain sparkling. It tackled germs, hard water stains, and even odors without the strong bleach fumes. Safe, easy, and septic tank friendly. Just another way Grandpa saved money while keeping things clean. 14. Remove bloodstains from fabric. Accidents happen, especially in Grandpa's workshop. If there was ever a small cut, he'd act fast. He'd pour hydrogen peroxide directly onto the blood-stained fabric before it dried. The fizzing broke down the proteins in the blood and lifted it from the fibers. After blotting and rinsing with cold water, the stain was barely noticeable. He always reminded us, the sooner you treat it, the better it works. 15. Clean refrigerator shelves. Grandpa wasn't shy about cleaning the fridge, especially after spills. He'd remove the glass shelves, spray them with hydrogen peroxide, and let it sit for a few minutes before wiping them clean. It eliminated bacteria without introducing harsh chemical smells near food. It also helped prevent mold from forming around rubber seals. For him, it wasn't just about being clean, it was about keeping the food safe too. 16. Deodorize kitchen sink drains. Even a clean sink can smell bad over time. Grandpa's solution? He'd pour half a cup of hydrogen peroxide down the drain every few days. The oxygen bubbles worked their way into the disposal and drain pipes, killing bacteria and neutralizing odors. It was especially helpful in summer when smells lingered. Combined with a little baking soda, it made the kitchen smell clean, without air fresheners or candles. 17. Clean your humidifier without harsh chemicals. Humidifiers can build up mold and mineral deposits fast. Grandpa avoided store-bought cleaners by filling the tank with a mix of hydrogen peroxide and water, usually about a 1:4 ratio. He'd let it sit for an hour, then rinse thoroughly. This kept the unit disinfected, odor-free, and safe to use. It also extended the life of the machine by keeping the inside clean. Simple maintenance, done Grandpa's way. 18. Brighten fingernails. Naturally, if your nails looked stained or dull, Grandpa had a no-fuss fix. He'd soak fingertips in a small bowl of hydrogen peroxide mixed with baking soda. After 5 to 10 minutes, the combo gently whitened nails and removed grime from under the edges. It was especially useful after yard work, painting, or working on the car. Rinse, moisturize, and you're good as new. No salon needed. 19. Sanitize reusable grocery bags. Those cloth grocery bags, they can carry more germs than you think. Grandpa lightly misted his with hydrogen peroxide after every few uses. He'd hang them up to dry and give them a proper wash occasionally, but this quick spray kept bacteria and food residue in check, especially helpful for meat juice leaks or spilled milk. Clean bags mean cleaner groceries and fewer smells in the car. 22. Freshen shower curtains. Instead of tossing a musty shower curtain, Grandpa would soak it in warm water with hydrogen peroxide and a little dish soap. Let it sit in the tub for 30 minutes, then scrub and rinse. The peroxide removed mildew stains without damaging the plastic or fabric. Once hung back up, it looked and smelled new. No bleach, no scrubbing for hours, just old school know-how. 23rd, spot treat carpet stains. Whether it was juice, wine, or mystery stains, Grandpa used hydrogen peroxide on carpets. He'd blot the area first, then spray peroxide and let it fizz for a few minutes. Using a clean cloth, he'd dab the area until the stain lifted. For tougher spots, he'd mix in a bit of dish soap. No harsh carpet cleaners, just a gentle bubbling clean that worked wonders. 25. Disinfect kids' toys safely. Plastic toys pick up germs faster than you'd think, especially after playdates or being dropped outside. Grandpa filled a bucket with a mix of hydrogen peroxide and water, about 1:1 ratio, and tossed in washable toys. He'd let them soak for 15 to 20 minutes. Rinse them off and let them air dry. No bleach smell, no harsh residue, just clean, safe toys. It was his go-to trick whenever grandkids visited. 26. Revive a mildew-smelling towel. You know that musty smell towels get after sitting damp too long? Grandpa hated that. He'd pour half a cup of hydrogen peroxide into the washing machine, along with baking soda and hot water. After a full cycle, the towels smelled clean and felt fresh. No mildew in sight. This method also worked wonders for gym clothes and bath mats that held on to odor. 27th, defunk your dish sponge. Dish sponges are breeding grounds for bacteria if left wet and dirty. Grandpa would soak his sponges overnight in a bowl filled with hydrogen peroxide. In the morning, he'd rinse them, wring them out, and let them air dry. This killed lingering germs and removed any food odor that might be clinging to the fibers. It extended the life of each sponge and made dishwashing a little less gross.